KTSU 90.9, as promised, introducing the one and only special guest we have tonight, the one and only Miss Riya J. Riya, you are live on the air. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing phenomenal. How are you doing tonight?
Oh man, I am blessed. I am blessed. It is so good to hear your voice. It has been a minute. How are you?
It's first of all, it's wonderful to hear your voice, and yeah, it's been a while. It's been about almost a year, I would say, maybe even longer. So I'm happy to be speaking with you on tonight.
Yeah, it's crazy how a lot of people keep in touch with one another, vice versa, being seen from being seen for so long. Wow.
Yeah,
How's life been
absolutely.
treating you?
Life has been good. Life has been it's been a roller coaster, and a good roller coaster, So I'm riding this ride, and sometimes I'm pinching myself because the things that has transpired in my life, even within the last 90 days, has been mind blowing. So, I'm ready to share it with the world and chop it up with you guys.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Give a little history about yourself. Where you come from, and the come up. How's everything going?
Oh, well, I was born and raised in Gary, Indiana, in the Midwest, the home of the Jackson Five, Michael and Janet Jackson. And I started most of the artists that I've grew up listening to. I started in church, singing my first solo when I was 5 years old. And I was nervous as all get out, but I had to get up there because if I told my mom I didn't want to do it anymore, I was scared I was gonna get a whooping. So I'm like, I gotta get up here and sing. I can't bail out now. So, but when I sang, when I first opened my mouth, I was comfortable. Like I wasn't crying, or I wasn't too nervous when my voice was shaking, and I sang If Anybody Asks You Who I Am in church, and all I heard was "Sing, baby." Yeah, all right, praise the Lord. So I knew I was received, and that's something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And then at the age of 10, I wrote my first church song, and we taught it to the children's choir, and we sang it. And then I said, okay, Lord, you done gave me something here, so I gotta move on it. So singing and writing is something I've been doing since I was, just a little squirt, just a little bit of the old thing.
You got me beat on that one. You got me beat. People try to tell me you should sing. You should sing. I say I only sing in church. If you want to see me sing, come to church.
Oh
I
no! You got to share it with the world.
Well, see, the thing with me is, I was like too far off in a comfort zone, and I was just like, people will build you up in church just to have you out and send you out to the real world and tear you down. How do you differentiate between church and the live stream audience? The real audience. The real critiques. How do you take that in with all the critiques, talking all the negatives, and despite the negatives, you still find a way to bounce through? Can you walk us through what is that feeling? What do you do to progress beyond all the negative doubts?
Well, first off, the first thing you have to do is you have to get out of your comfort zone. And, church was my comfort zone. So when I got to high school, no one is as honest as your peers are. Teenagers and, cousins and friends of friends in the same age as you, they're going to be brutally honest. So and I went to Maryville High School in Indiana, and it was a very diverse school. We had everybody from all different type of ethnic backgrounds, shades and colors. So I knew if I got up in front of an audience in my high school, if they threw tomatoes at me, I knew I didn't have juice. But if they encouraged me and liked what I brought to the stage, then I knew I had something. So at 15 or 16, it was one of the two. But I believe I was 16. In 2005, I sang my first original song that I had written for myself and recorded, called "On My Mind." And it was a real simple, catchy song. It was, "Baby boy, you on my mind. I think about you all the time." So I got up there, and they liked it. They was, I'm hearing cheers because I was nervous as all get out because, Maryville kids, we were a little brutal. They'll talk about you like a dog, but they were being, they were giving you the real. So I could tell the difference in how the crowd reacted from church, from singing gospel to me singing, secular music and R&B music, and you have to just, you got to take it, with a grain of salt, because you don't know how they're going to receive you. But at the end of the day, it worked in my favor, and I started to sing and do all the talent shows from 10th grade until I graduated. And I actually didn't get any negative reviews, but when you get older, your audience changes. Life is different from when you in high school. So when I got to write older, mature music, you get a couple of people like, no, I'm not feeling that, but that comes with the territory. Not everybody's gonna feel you, like some audiences would. But you have to keep on going, because it's for every no, it's one yes out there. So I would definitely say, try different elements of music to try to find your sound, and get a diverse of people to listen to your music, because you have to be versatile in everything you do. You just can't stay on a plateau. So that's what I did. If you really want to, see how people are feeling you and feeling your gift or your writing or your singing, don't stick to just one crowd. You have to get out there and present yourself to all different types of creeds of people.
Okay, well said, well said. So, coming up, did you have like a aspiring artist you aspire to be like when you were first coming up?
Of course, Michael Jackson. That
we didn't.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, of course. Oh yeah. So, but it was so crazy, because at first I was a Michael Jackson fanatic, but then my baby sister she superseded me. So, she went out and bought yeah, she went out and bought every album with all her allowance, learned all the words to every song. I'm like, okay, well, I can do a little moonwalk, but I don't know every song off of every album. And I'm not exaggerating. She knows every song off of all of his albums. So,
girl, let me tell you, your sister and my sister need to get together, because I left the house watching Oz. Mind you, she's singing every single part. Michael Jackson's part just came up as I was walking out the house. I had to leave. I was like, you know what?
Oh, on the Wiz?
On the Wiz.
Okay,
the
yeah.
Wiz. And she, like you say, my sister is a fanatic as well. Every song, album, movie, she's still buying books.
Oh yeah.
Up until this day.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we got superseded. But
we definitely did. So once she took Mike from underneath me, I really started to study and identify a lot with Aaliyah. I'd say probably maybe 8 or 9. I started to see this girl who wore baggy pants and boxers underneath her jeans with, sunglasses on, but she could dance like no one out of this world. And she was one that I really liked. And then, of course, when we lost her, I was just devastated. So I was 12 years old when Aaliyah passed, and then after that, I just, anything that had to do with her, I studied and I had her all over my room. And a lot of people say that, I look like her, but I don't, I think there could be anyone who could duplicate or look or sound like Aaliyah. She's definitely one of a kind. And but I do, she's one of the artists that I would definitely say is a inspiration. And Whitney Houston, I learned how to do runs and riffs with my voice from listening to her music. Definitely the Preacher's Wife soundtrack when it came out in 1996. I just listened to it over and over and over again because I was familiar with that. It was a gospel album, but at the same time, it was the soundtrack to The Preacher's Wife, the movie. So I would listen to it over and over and over again, and I taught myself how to do runs listening to Whitney Houston. And then I can go all the way back to, to Anita Baker. I can go to Phyllis Hyman. Then I love the Spinners, Donny Hathaway. I'm just an old soul, period.
Okay. I'm about to say, did you mention Aretha in there? I think I might have missed that one.
You know, I didn't mention Aretha, but I she was one I listened to as well. That's all my mom played, and my dad loved the blues, and of course he was a preacher, so we listened to gospel from James Cleveland, to the Clark sisters. But you know, they kept all type of other genres around us, from the time I was just a little bitty bop. So you know, music is something that I'm very familiar with, and I study all of the different genres.
Okay. So you sound like a well-rounded artist, up-and-coming artist.
I mean, I'm trying to get up, a little something in there.
Well, hold that thought. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with the rest of this interview featuring artist Riya J. Y'all give it up.
Hey.
A lot. All right, we are back with the one and only Riya J.
Hey now.
Speak on it, Riya.
We back from that break. You guys are jamming over there.
Oh man, thank you. You know, we do what we do. We do what we can, while we can, when we can.
Oh, I love it.
Can, you know?
I love it.
So, where's Riya J headed in the next few years with her music career?
Oh, Riya J, the sky's the limit. Right now, I just released my newest single titled Pure Confidence. So that has opened a few doors for me. Last month in May, I got a call for Pure Confidence to be a part of a BET television series. So when I got that call, they said, "Hey, send us some of your music. You got this new record out. We want to put you on the show." And I was like, "Me? You want to put some of my music in the show?" And they like, "Yes, send us all of your singles, even songs that's recorded that's not released." So they picked two, and I have two songs going on some episodes for a BET series. I can't give out too much detail, but soon as I'm allowed to announce the show and the episodes that I'll be featured in, I'm gonna put it all over.
Okay, that's hot. See, up and coming artist Riya J.
Yes.
Making things happen.
I'm trying.
What do you want to your audience to take away from some of your latest hits? Like how are you connecting with your audience?
I just want them to feel something. With R&B music, everyone has some type of song to sing. Whether it's a sad song, whether you're in love and just sprung head over heels, whether you're hurting from a heartbreak or a loss of a loved one, I want you to feel some type of emotion. I don't want you to just to feel void and you don't have any type of movement or anything, whether it's emotionally, physically. When you hear my music, I want a reaction, because that's what R&B music is for. So, I've written from personal experiences from myself to, writing with my sisters and my mom, loves of my life, past bad experiences, because everybody can relate to, love and hurt and pain and happiness. So I want you to feel. That's all I want you to do. I just want you to feel.
Nice. Day before yesterday was the BET Awards. In the first 2 minutes, I seen this young lady in red go across the screen right there on television. I was like, hold up, this girl looks familiar. I said, wait a minute, is that Riya? She was like, ah! Yeah, but see, that's crazy. I said you was in the 10th row, but you said, what row were you in?
I was in the 3rd row.
You were in
on
the
floor.
third
Yeah,
row.
I was in the 3rd row. Yeah, so that was me, that little red girl.
How'd you come across that blessing right there?
Well, everything rolls into, it actually fell out of the sky, to be honest, but, it rolled into, the blessing that I was contacted with for my music to be a part of the series, and I was blessed to be able to even experience that with my two sisters, Markia and Brianna, and we flew on out, and everything was taken care of, and it was a blessing. It really was a blessing. And when people, they look at me and be like, "Oh, you just be doing all this stuff and going everywhere," and I don't have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 M's in my bank account like the song says. I'm really, it's really, I really have been blessed. When people say come out and if you have an opportunity, you just have to, take the bull by the horns and step out on faith. And that's exactly what happened. And, last month I wasn't expecting that call. And not even 30 days later, I'm in the third row at the BET Awards. And, it was, so surreal. And they're doing so many big things at BET right now with new shows and programs, and with Connie Orlando as the EVP and head of programming. I got a chance to speak with her actually the day before the awards, and just to, thank her for what she's doing, and how I'm so excited. And I was so geeked about the awards, and she's such a gracious spirit. I just thank God. And that whole experience for the awards was just, I had to keep pinching myself because I couldn't believe it.
The energy in that building it looked like it was off the chain, especially when Mary J. Blige,
Woo!
when she received that Lifetime Achievement Award and she hit the stage performing. It looked like everybody went crazy.
Man,
what's that song? I'm going down.
Oh my goodness, it was a movie.
Wow.
It was a movie. I kid you not.
Oh wow. Take us to what you were feeling on that one.
When Rihanna came out and presented her with the Lifetime Achievement Award, you could just feel the chills in the room because Rihanna spoke nothing but truth. Mary is such a trailblazer, and when you feel like you want to just shoot the club up, or you wanna you just in a space of emotion, or you wanna party, or you had your heart broken, you gonna throw on some Mary J. Blige. Everybody. I remember one time I had a friend who locked me in a room. I think I was 14 years old. Locked me in a room and made me listen to Mary J. Blige for about 6 hours. They played every album from the What's the 411 to her present album, which I think was Breakthrough. And at first I was like, I don't want to hear all this. I know all the Mary J. Blige songs, but I didn't. When 411 came out, What's the 411? I was a little girl. So that actually took me back to that moment, because as I'm looking at Mary, giving her speech, and then she came out to No More Drama. I almost felt like I was about to just break down and cry, because I'm like, I used to listen to this song when I got put on punishment, and her vocals, everything was, live. You don't get that all the time from all artists. She's a real artist. She's a real singer. She brings out that energy and that edge, and she's still that that homegirl from New York City. Like it really was a movie. I couldn't believe it. And with, oh my goodness, when Little Kim came out, I thought I was gonna pass out and need some water. It was crazy.
Kim hit the stage.
Yeah, then Method Man. It was crazy.
Man, dreams come true, wouldn't you say?
They do. Yes, they do. You got to speak it into existence. I said one day I was going to be on the BET Awards. So the next thing I'm going to say, I'm going to accept the BET Award. So you got to put it in the atmosphere.
Speak it into existence.
That's right. It's going to happen.
So they will. You got it. All right, Ryan, why don't you tell everybody where they can follow you? Give them your social media, so if anybody want to, tune in to some of your music and keep up with what you're doing, let them know where they can reach out to you, or keep posting where you're going.
You can reach me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Real Riya J, all one word. That's RealRiyaJ. And, come chop it up with me. I'm always checking my DMs. I answer, some I don't, just depending on, what kind of energy that's being brought. But most of the time, people are so gracious and giving me feedback, and I have very thick skin. If you have a critique, whether it's critical or not, I'm open-minded to everything. So Real Riya J, come holler at me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Riya J, thank you for kicking it with us on The Blend, the mixture of jazz and R&B, plus Rain Music Hour. We thank you. We love you, Riya, and we will keep in touch, and we will be following you. So follow back when we go ahead and hit that follow button, all right?
Oh, yes. God bless you guys at KTSU. Thank you for having me, and I'll definitely will be back. I promise.
All right. Take care, love.
You do the same. Bye-bye.
All right.